This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Welcome back to What's Up Waco, the podcast that loves to introduce you to the people, the places, and the properties that make Waco an excellent community to live. Hey everybody, welcome back to What's Up Waco with your host Erica Boisvert. And today, I'm joined by my hubby, Scott Boisvert.
Woohoo!
Oh, hello, honey.
Hey, sex mama.
Thank you for coming in. So today I wanted to get into inspections because I feel like we've had a lot going on around inspections lately that is noteworthy, that things I don't think buyers really know to expect, or sellers.
Yeah, we've had a lot going on lately that, well, just leave that there.
Okay, so first and foremost, I want to be very clear that we think when you're representing a buyer, a general home inspection, super important.
100% always a must in my book.
Yes, but there's a couple things that play in here.
Do your due diligence, find a good one.
Yeah, find a good inspector, but also, even with excellent inspectors, I still take the report with a grain of salt, right?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I think that, but let's go back to, I think a lot of things about this subject. I'm going to be all over the place today, but let's go back to, finding a good one, because I don't know if you've seen online, but I've seen on some forums where consumers are like, oh, don't use the inspector that your real estate agent recommends. They're in cahoots. Like, what? Like, how would that even be a thing?
Yeah, I don't know. Clear cooperation rules prevent that, first of all. Second of all, if your agent doesn't give you 2 or 3 ones to pick from, they're not working for you.
But I mean, there's no benefit to it. Like, if I was talking to somebody, I'm like, what would I gain from that? Because 5 years down the road, if something was undisclosed, or I colluded with the inspector to hide a massive leak or something, I could get sued.
100%.
I don't want that.
Yep, 100%.
Like, nobody wants to get sued.
Nobody wants to get sued.
So
unless you're in California. They love it.
Stop it. They like doing the suing.
My bad.
Not being.
This is true.
They're litigation happy.
Yes.
Actually, I think that there's more fail-safes in California in the contract than what we have.
Still get sued.
Yeah, well.
It's California. Anyway. Here to talk about inspectors, not California.
Yeah. Butthead, stay on track, sir. So we have a couple guys that we recommend.
100%. Yep.
And
time tested.
Yes.
Proven.
Yes. Like, the guys we recommend are very much because they stay in their lane, which we'll get into. They know what they're talking about. They don't rile anybody up. They just kind of state the facts.
Yep.
And that's it.
That's it. Black and white. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to talk about stay in your lane, why that's important, like what that means?
Stay in your lane. So if you're an inspector and you're out there saying, hey, this has huge electrical problems, or hey, you got plumbing issues, well, guess what? Are they an electrician? Are they a plumber? The answer is no. No, they're not. You need to hire the professional in that lane, which would be the plumber or an electrician. HVAC, the same thing. Roofer. Oh my goodness. Have a roofer look at your roof. I mean, your agent, a good agent will walk you through this process.
Mm-hmm.
But inspectors, come on now. Really? Quit trying to scare people. Have professionals that know what they're talking about. Look at what they're doing. Look at what's going on.
Right, which is why we recommend the guys that we recommend.
Absolutely.
And then I think it's important also to note that even I don't the 2 gentlemen that we recommend, do they have contracting backgrounds?
I can't answer that.
I'd have to look it up.
I can't.
But I do know it's not a requirement to be a TREC home inspector.
Nope. Got to take some classes. You can do them online. You can follow an inspector for about a year, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, not getting paid to do that. So if you're following an inspector who thinks they know everything, which, don't get me wrong, they do see a lot of things.
They do.
And
they know code in and out.
100%, but are they licensed to tell you?
Right.
No, they're not. That's why there's licensees to do that for you. But it is a process, but some people just get, I don't know, thinking it's more than what it is, I guess you could say.
Like giving it more credibility than it deserves?
Yeah.
Well, maybe, okay, so let's story time. We'll tell people why this has come up for us lately.
Okay.
Let's talk about that one where the inspector called things out and was wrong.
Well, which one?
The one that caused the buyers to cancel.
Oh, yes. Let's talk.
So he came out and looked at our seller's house and called out items and scared the buyer and told the buyer it would be so much money to fix this and that and the other thing. And the buyers ended up canceling, terminating the contract. And so once we were out of contract, there was some other stuff going on, and a few days later, and finally that buyer called me directly and mentioned the issues. And I happened to have a direct line to the person who built the home and was able to tell him, oh, this is what they were told by the inspector.
Hashtag local builders. Whoop, whoop.
Yes, we love local builders. And that local builder was like, what? No, that's an easy fix. That's an easy fix. None of this is scary. So we weren't in contract. There was no paperwork that kept me from doing this. And I told her, hey, none of that is an issue. You're welcome to talk to the builder directly. Long story short, they did. And they're closing on that house this week.
Yeah, buddy.
We got the same buyers under contract, even after their inspector gave them crappy information.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah, he really spoke about things that he shouldn't have. And so that is like, and from a buyer's perspective, like, ew, that guy just totally ruined a deal. They love this house. Clearly, they went back under contract on it.
Yeah.
Love this house, wanted this house. And that inspector spoke out of turn, said things that were wrong, and they decided to move along.
Absolutely.
Ugh.
So how many deals has your inspector killed by not knowing what they're talking about?
Right?
That's a good question. There's a lot of inspectors out there.
Yeah.
A lot of good ones.
Yes.
I'll tell you that.
There are.
But yeah, got to get facts. Facts. But also, maybe the real estate agent could have helped talk through some of that stuff. I don't know. But hooking up with the builder, that was a good call.
Yeah, I think that cut out a lot of the middleman, the interpretation, just ask him directly the questions. Boom.
Yep.
Which isn't always an option. So instead, your options are to ask licensed pros.
Yep.
I think some people think maybe the general home inspection is like the end all be all. And it's not. During your option period, you should be prepared
100%.
for follow-up inspections, right?
Yep. Home inspection is just a visual inspection as seen as at during the inspection. That's it. Take some pictures. And if something's in the pictures, you get whatever trade is involved in the pictures to look at what needs to be done.
Right.
If anything. Sometimes I've seen inspectors call out things that you're like, really? Really? The home was built in 1960. No kidding. Come on now.
Well, and I think that's part of it too. Like some inspectors will call it out like, oh, this house doesn't have XYZ. And another inspector would be like, so this house doesn't have XYZ, but it's an as-built condition.
Yep. Guess what? It wasn't code in the 60s. It's code today. It doesn't have to be built to today's standards.
Right.
It won't be built to today's standards. Hence a resale home.
Oh, and that's a good point. That's where you have to take it with a grain of salt.
Yep.
Because if you're buying a home that's, used, then you need to be prepared. And an inspection on a home with any age to it should just be like a heads up. This is what might happen in the future. This is how it stands right now. If there's safety items, sure.
Safety items you always want to get fixed, period.
Yeah.
Always. I don't care if it kills your deal, but if it's safety related, you want that done before you move in.
Yeah. And I haven't really known sellers who, if it's a safety deficiency, have been like, oh, I don't want to fix that. I think the majority of people will want to do the right thing.
Yeah, 100%. When you get when you get the inspection report, and you got your 40-page inspection, whatever, give or take,
80.
And then you have somebody who wants to basically rebuild the house to new standards.
Yeah.
And it's 40 years old, 30 years old, even 10 years old. You're not going to be remodeling the house before you buy it.
Right.
That's a whole different process. It's a whole different ball game.
Mhm.
You're looking to see if it'll match what your needs are, and move in. Make it your home when you move in. Don't make it your home before you move in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I think that it's important to kind of keep that stuff in mind. I think stuff that might seem scary in a house that was built in 1971, well, it's still standing, so it's not as scary as you might think, is kind of my thought.
Absolutely. There's also on the flip side, there's a reason why there's so many foundation companies around. You're in Texas, y'all. Things move. Hello. Don't be scared of foundations messed up. Everything's fixable. Everything.
But within reason, use that to your benefit, leverage your offer,
Absolutely.
Get
Put it
some
in
money.
writing.
Mm-hmm.
Things can be worked out. The seller knows the foundation's messed up. You know the foundation's messed up. That's what negotiation's all about.
Right.
If you can't negotiate, move on to the next house. It'll also have a foundation issue, most likely.
That's not fair. It's not like 100%.
It's like 80% in my book.
It's a lot.
It's like 80. I don't care who you are.
It is a lot out here.
If it's longer than 10 years, it's moving. You got some kind of drop in it somewhere.
Somewhere.
I don't care.
But I think inspection should also kind of remind you about that stuff. Like, hey, water your foundation. Hey, watch your soil height. Here's where your water heater is. Here's where you change your filter in your HVAC system. Stuff like that too.
Yeah, that should be
like an orientation.
Orientation-ish, but that should also be done when you're going through your inspection with your buyer. I would say.
Yeah.
The real estate agent should also it's almost like a go bag, right? When you move in, here's your go bag of things to look out for and things you need to be aware of and do.
Why a go bag? I don't get that.
It's like a toolbox. How's that?
Okay.
Like a house toolbox.
Yeah.
You need basic tools in a house just to fix the little things.
Sure.
Screwdrivers, small hammer, level. Small things that you can do. Everybody can do little things.
Yes.
I don't care who you are. There's YouTube, right? But that should be part of it. When you're walking through the house, here's your water heater. Check the date on the water heater.
Oh yeah.
Check to see if there's any rust at the bottom. I mean, there's things to look out for. I'm not a plumber. Check with the plumber.
Right.
But eyeball things.
But we also have a pretty good idea, just being in the industry for a while. If you're paying attention, then
100%. I was also a contractor. So
that's a little advantage you have over people.
I know what I'm looking at. But on the flip side, from older houses, you got new builds. Guess what? Get your new builds inspected too.
Mm-hmm.
You never know who's throwing things up in that house.
Right.
I promise you.
Well, and you just told your clients the other day something that's good for new build inspections.
What'd I tell them?
You told them to do it in stages.
Absolutely.
To do the different phases.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you got a good inspector, you've done your due diligence, you found a good one.
Mm-hmm.
We will never recommend somebody we have not used, ever.
Right.
If we use somebody and we didn't like them, we're not going to recommend them.
Oh my gosh, never again.
100%.
Never again.
But anyway, phases to do an inspection for a new build. I would do the slab when the slab's getting poured.
Yeah.
You want to get pictures of the rebar.
Mm-hmm.
Once the walls go up, just the 2x4s, just the framing, get that inspected. HVAC, get the most of the inspections you can, at least like 3 or 4.
Plumbing rough-in.
Yep.
Framing.
Once the walls are up, things can be hidden.
Mm-hmm. You want to see it before sheetrock is put up, is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure there's hangers on there. Anyway, they'll know what they're taking pictures of, and you'll see the pictures. Mm-hmm. And not only is it good, it'll be in your records too.
Yep.
So, that warm and fuzzy feeling of getting your very first new build house, everything comes together, it's your dreams. Or you're going to have pictures of your dreams getting built. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
That'd
be a cool little booklet.
Hello. Yeah, exactly.
And also, I think another good one that I know Brian does, and I think Trent will do too, is in 11 months, when you've lived in a house, a brand new construction home that you bought, you're the first owner, you're still under warranty on everything. In the 11th month, they'll come out and do an inspection and take a look at items that are still covered by your warranty that you can then have your builder address.
Absolutely.
Before that year is up.
Yep. Things happen. I mean, it is what it is. That's why there's a warranty, is to protect you. No builder. Most builders.
Yeah.
that most builders are not going to want to give you a bad product that won't last.
Right.
They want it to last because it's also their reputation. So that's why there's warranties. Also, the state of Texas protects that for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's mandatory. It's called a builder's warranty. Take advantage of it.
Absolutely. So I think those are good little tidbits, I think, on new construction.
Yep.
So get your phases, get your 11 month.
Yep.
And it's worth every dollar, I think.
Absolutely.
Even though your builder's going to tell you, "Oh, we have a third party inspector." Do you? Yeah, sure, they're third party, but there's still that feeling of employability.
Yeah,
they're employed.
They're they could be employed, but is it the one that you picked out? Have you talked to them? If you like them, use them. It's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's your money. It's your time. Use who you like. But check them out.
Yep.
Just a tip.
And then another tip I wanted to talk about today that I don't think people really do out here, which is different for me because the market I came from, it was kind of normal. But I recommend it to people out here and they're anti. So I don't know. Let's talk it through. But sellers, I think doing a pre-listing inspection is a big benefit.
It is a big benefit, I think. I haven't done it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Sellers know typically what's wrong with their house, everything about it, the ins and outs.
Do they, though?
But after time, they might get used to those things. It might not be top of mind.
True. Oh, yeah,
if that makes
does
any
run.
sense.
Oh, yeah, that toilet does run a little bit. Oh,
Yeah, you got to jiggle the handle. You got to lift up on the door. I mean,
because they're just used to it.
You get used to it. Yeah, it's like having dogs, right? If you got a lot of dogs in your house, you get the dog smell, but you get used to it. Somebody comes in from the outside into your house like, whoa, what's that smell? Oh, it's my 7 dogs. Same thing.
Why'd you have to get personal with it?
Because it is. It's
that
very
felt
personal.
Very attacking.
I'm just saying.
Well, open the windows.
Oh my gosh. I would love to. You don't let me.
Anyway, yes. So it's a good way. So there's pros and cons, obviously, because now you know.
Now you know.
Now you got to disclose.
You got to disclose everything. Plus, it gives you like a cheat sheet, right? You don't get blindsided. You're not.
That's why I like
crossing your fingers, waiting for the buyer's repair request coming in.
Right.
You know what to expect at that point.
Well,
and you know what you're willing to fix at that point.
Exactly. I think you have some leverage too, because you can, if you see safety items, we'll just knock those out for sure. Yep. And if there's anything else, I mean, once you have a contractor in your house or an electrician in your home or a plumber in your home, you just give them like a punch list.
Yep.
And not every seller is in a position to be able to, pay for all those repairs, but you know what money you have and where it's best used.
Yep. And it gives you confidence of what can and can't be done.
Sure.
I mean, it's just giving you a playbook to go off of is all it is. It's great. And if you got time before you're going to list your house, say you got like 5-6 months, you can budget that in a little bit better.
That's true.
You
know?
Not
everybody gives us a call because they want to put their house on the market tomorrow. Some people call us a year ahead. Some people call 5-6 months ahead.
Yep.
Because you just want to plan, which is my favorite. I love to plan.
Yep. We also get those ones that want the market on the house tomorrow.
Right. And
it's not going to happen tomorrow.
We don't really do that.
Nope. Sorry.
We at least need a couple weeks.
We got to do it the right way. We got processes in place for what we do.
And there are agents who will pop it up there the next day, and more power to y'all. Like there's, that's why there's different people for different jobs.
Absolutely. But we go with what we know, what works best for us and what works best for you guys, especially.
Yeah. Getting prepared. So I think that's good. What else is good to know about inspections, just in case, from buy side, seller side?
Buy side, seller side. Buy side, you know what you're walking into. Mm-hmm. You know what you're buying. That's the whole point of it. Mm-hmm. Sellers, you know what you're selling.
Yeah.
Do you want to sell a car with a bad engine, knowing it's got a bad engine for top dollar? Okay, some people do.
Some people do.
But don't be that guy. Don't be that guy.
Yeah. We probably won't work with you.
Yeah, probably not. We got to be fair for everybody.
Yep.
Buyers and sellers across the board at the same time, Got to disclose everything. Don't try and hide things at all, please.
No.
At all.
Disclose.
Even if you don't see it, or even if you know about it, there's something wrong with the house and we see it, guess what? It is our duty to disclose it.
Yep.
Period. So just don't try to hide things.
But I think it's inspections are, again, they're not the end all be all. They're not the Bible. You could have 3 different inspectors come look at your property and give you 3 different reports.
100%. And if you got an inspector that's saying these weep holes aren't supposed to be there, Guess what? They are. They
Oh.
are supposed to be there.
No, or bet I had my other favorite one was the dude that came up from Austin and told me the house didn't have weep holes, and I had to say, "Oh, you mean like that guy right there? That hole right there?"
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
over the window, ma'am. That code is old, sir.
Or, hey, the house doesn't have a ground. Really? Really?
What's this funky little rebar?
Is this piece of metal going on the ground right here with the wire coming off it? A ground, perhaps?
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm not an electrician, but I'll get one to
Right.
look.
I'm not an electrician, but I will call him. That is important.
Guess what? She did call the electrician. And guess what? It was there. So, anyways.
I know.
Come on, guys.
Which is what, and I also want to say that was neither of our inspectors. That was other
people.
Actually, no, the Weeping Holes dude was a one and done. I worked with him once. I had hired one inspector. They sent another guy. That guy told me there were no weeping holes.
Mm-hmm.
Had to point them out to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will never work with that company again.
Mm-hmm. 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 What else?
I don't know. I think it's all good. I think the biggest thing I want people to walk away from this knowing is that it's not the end all be all. This is a discovery period. Take time to look through the report. If you have bigger questions, get the electrician out, get the plumber out, get the roofer out, get, the foundation expert out. And other than that, I also want buyers to know that you can't expect a seller to fix every single thing on the list.
Well, that goes back to rebuilding the house.
Right.
The seller's not going to remodel the house. If they were going to remodel the house, they would stay
would've
in the
done
house. I promise you, they would remodel it to what they want.
Right.
And stay in the house. They're not. If you were selling your house, would you fix every single thing on some list, big or small?
Mm-mm.
Probably not, because you're selling it for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact,
Just saying.
sometimes we'll tell people, no, don't waste your money on that because a buyer's going to come in and make it their own.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we start talking about allowances. And if they want to change the flooring and you're willing to put money toward that to entice them or to give you a little extra leverage, then we can do that.
Yep.
So I think mostly the consensus between all two of us is that inspections are important.
Absolutely.
Finding a good inspector is
Just as important.
if not more so.
Yep.
And then knowing that giving yourself time to follow up and having an agent who kind of, I don't know, if you're walking through houses, I'm going off on a tangent now, but if you're walking through houses and your agent is also commenting on, oh yeah, that tile's really pretty. Oh, I love this paint color. But not also saying, hey, I just went and looked and it looks like the age of the water heater is this and the age of the HVAC is this. Or, hey, that crack doesn't scare me, but this crack over here that's a little wonky and lopsided, that maybe we should get a little look at.
Yeah.
If your agent is not walking through and making those kind of recommendations.
Yep. At least
don't
preparing
know.
you for what can come.
Yeah.
Because if you see those things, you want to get the right people to look at them.
Yeah. And you want to be
as
prepared.
fast as possible. You don't want
Yes.
to wait. Don't do your repair request on the last day of option. You want to have time to work through it.
You have a couple days.
Absolutely. Don't be that guy at the last minute. Tired of that. Absolutely 100% tired of that. If you're waiting to the last minute, somebody dropped the ball somewhere.
It's not working. It's not going to work to your best advantage.
No, if you got to rush things, you got to slow it down.
Mhm.
Slow it down. You should not be in a rush to buy a home. It's the biggest purchase of your life.
Take your time.
Is buying a home. Don't rush it.
Don't be a scared. Did I just say a scared?
You did. You
Also-
sure did.
Don't be scared to walk away.
Yep. There's always another house, just like there's always another car. Don't get emotional. It gets emotional after you move in, right? When you're making it your own. It's not emotional until then. Use your head.
Not everybody works like that, though.
Should.
Okay,
Everybody
but not
should.
everybody does.
Everybody should.
They don't.
They should.
Sometimes you don't.
I'm just saying.
It is what it is.
What? Always do.
No, I know you always do.
Mhm.
I'm saying the general you.
I'm just saying.
You can keep saying all you want.
I am.
I would say once option is good and everything's pretty tight, you can start getting a little excited. But don't buy anything.
Don't buy anything. No major purchases. No job changes.
Ugh.
No.
Nothing. Like not even within your own job. Don't let any don't change, don't accept a promotion. Tell your boss you love it and thank you. And yes, you want it, but can it wait until after you close on your house?
Yes, please, for the love of God.
You'd be
Any
surprised.
changes affects everything.
Yes.
Everything. Oh, my Lord.
Okay, but we were talking about inspections. So
Inspections.
pre-listing inspections, highly recommend.
Absolutely.
I don't understand, other than the expense, why sellers don't want to do it. I would do it on our house just to knock it out.
We wouldn't have to, though.
I know, because you can do it, but I'm just saying.
Just saying.
If you didn't have the knowledge that you have, I would want to bring somebody in and say, okay, what do we need to really address?
Well, absolutely. And by doing that, too, you can also spruce your house up a bit and make it a little bit more friendly for buyers to look at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going to see that you've done some work and you've taken care of things, and
Mm-hmm.
they'll notice the differences. It'll just improve the value of your home, honestly.
Yeah, it does.
You know?
It makes it easier to sell.
Yep. 100%.
And then buyers, take your inspection report with a grain of salt. Be prepared also, I think, for anything from a 26-page report to a 135-page report.
And if you got 135 pages,
some of these houses are old.
Demo the house.
But a lot of these are like pictures. Most of the pages in the report are pictures with a caption.
Yeah, that's true.
And so sometimes it just adds up.
Yep.
Demo it.
Just like an old telephone bill, right?
No, stop it. Don't use that as an analogy.
Nobody
Who the
knows.
heck knows nobody knows what you're talking about right now.
Whatever.
Telephone bill.
I'm just saying.
Who? I don't think
Dime
I even
here,
looked at
dime
it when I got
there.
it. A dime.
Then it's $150. You're like, what the hell?
A dime. I'll take a dime.
Or
Charge me a dime.
$750 in
Ugh.
one day.
Why are you looking at me?
I hate that phone bill still.
I didn't do it.
You
Did
did.
I? What did I do?
That's from Caitlin. Being pregnant.
Oh, I didn't know about
In the
roaming
hospital.
charges. It was my
Yeah.
first cell phone. I had no idea.
My gosh,
Dude,
we got it
shush.
nailed.
You're making us so old right now in this podcast.
Anyways,
I
it
don't
is what it
appreciate
is.
that,
Yep.
buddy. It is what it is. Find an inspector you can trust.
Yep.
Trust that your real estate agent is going to give you good recommendations.
But also check him out and have a conversation with him.
Yeah.
Call him up or her.
Please
Whatever. You know?
check them on Google. I mean, I hate to say it, but if people are writing reviews, that's a great resource.
It is, but also take that with a grain of salt, as we all know.
Yeah.
You know,
I think I have like 5 reviews,
I don't know, probably
on
like
Google,
10. I don't know.
which is not very much at all.
Yeah. Hey guys.
No.
No. I'm just kidding.
He's like, hey, if you're listening and you love us, please write us a review. Yeah, it's just not something I've ever focused on, but I do know people check them. And so,
Yeah.
read reviews, look at their website if they have one,
Yep.
If they have an Instagram, that'd be great. I know most of our inspectors are pretty busy. I don't know if they have time to do all
Oh, that's a good tip. If your inspector's available tomorrow, don't hire that guy. There's a reason why he's slow.
that.
I'm just saying.
It could be the market. Check in and see why.
Yeah, it could be, but usually a good inspector's busy.
Yeah. And we like our business protocol is to check in with our favorite inspectors
Yep.
and see what their schedule looks like when we're ready to make an offer. What does that look like? What does your next week look like?
Yep. And if it's 2-3 days, that's okay. 4
Mhm.
days, that's cool too. It also helps you know what kind of option period you're looking at as well. So do the things that's recommended to do typically.
What?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
I have no idea.
What?
If you recommend an inspector, use the inspector.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think any agent out there is trying to steer you in the wrong direction, and I
No.
certainly don't think anybody's in cahoots with anybody.
No.
If they give you 2 or 3 recommendations, it's probably good. Just do your due diligence, like you keep saying.
100%. There's a ton of good agents out here in Waco.
There are.
A ton. I promise you. And you know what? We're not a fit for everybody. We get that. We're a fit for the people that we like to work with, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
There's not one person that likes everybody.
No.
It's not going to happen. And don't take offense. It just is what it is.
Right.
You know?
So find a good inspector.
Yep. Find a good inspector.
Get your inspection done.
Inspections.
No. No. Don't you do it again. Well, everybody, that is what we wanted to bring to your attention today. Not all inspectors are created equal.
Nope.
Take the inspection report with a grain of salt.
Yep.
Consider a pre-listing inspection when you're selling your home.
Yep.
And be ready to use what you learn as leverage.
Use that toolbox.
Use that
We
toolbox.
just armed you. Good luck.
Thank you for listening. That is What's Up, Waco.
Have a topic you want to talk about? Do you have questions about Waco, the real estate market, how to sell your house, what to look for when you're buying a home? Send me an email, ericasellstexas@gmail.com. Shoot me a text, 254-447-0180. Happy to chat about it. Find me anywhere you listen to your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production. Are you a podcaster? Let's talk podcast hosting. Are you tired of your current podcast host? Need real support in a community that gets it? At Rogue Media Network, we offer top-tier podcast hosting services to help you thrive. From hosting and distribution to dedicated support, we've got you covered. Starting as low as $25 a month. Join our community of passionate podcasters today. Contact us at hello@roguemedianetwork.com.